Welcome back. We are sure. We are
Okay, let's do a new opening. That was horrible.
Peter off.
Hello. I'm Moran.
And I'm Day.
And we are going to answer some offer/aspiring offer questions.
And we are the shared shelf because she keeps forgetting to say that.
Yes, I do.
All right.
So these are a bunch of questions that I got from my street team as well as Instagram stories over the past couple weeks because I kept procrastinating filming this.
Here we are.
So I am going to run for all these questions. A lot of them are about self-publishing and writing. I have published. She has not, but she's working on it.
Soon.
So we're going to see what you can answer.
Okay.
But the first question is, what was the hardest part, or what is the hardest part of self-publishing books, in your opinion?
Actually publishing. I'm scared. I don't want people to read it, but I want people to read it. Well, I guess the fear.
Yeah. Are you procrastinating a lot?
No.
Oh, I was procrastinating because I was scared. So, imposter syndrome was my biggest thing. I don't deal with that too much anymore. Like when Tidekeeper came out, the first book had enough good reception that I was not concerned about it. I was like, yeah, people like it.
I'm worried people will hate it, so that's where I am.
But that's where I was with Tidebound too. I was like, am I actually good? Am I like, is this like a false narrative that I've written about myself and my skills? But I got really good reception. I don't know if I'm scared about Sunfire and Steel because it's a new series. This is my first time branching away from what I'm like published. So I'm not scared as of right now, but I'm really early in the process. I tend to get scared a couple months out of release date. But yeah, fear is definitely a hard part. Is there anything that I regret or wish I could change about my offer journey? I wish I did more research on the costs of being an author. I knew it would be expensive. That's not what I'm complaining about. I actually stayed pretty close to the budget that I set myself, but I could have divided my costs better.
More better.
Like, so, the main thing I think of is I spent a lot on my covers for my first 2 books. I love my covers. My covers sell my work for sure. When you're a debut, you need a good cover because nobody knows who you are. Nobody knows if your writing is good. But if it's pretty, at least it can sit on their shelf, even if they hate it. So a good cover will sell your book, in my opinion, more so when you're a debut than when you're an established author. I'm not going to talk too much about like the exact cost of my cover, but to put it in perspective, one Tidebound cover is the same cost as 3 covers of my new series that's coming out this year.
Yikes.
And what happened with me, and this is not like a issue of their overcharging or I don't believe that they're worth what I paid. Like it definitely was. It was beautiful. It's completely hand illustrated on Procreate. But it's about exchange rates. My current my artist from Tidebound, Tidekeeper, lives in Germany. So from Canada, that's a 1.5 times kind of exchange rate. My current artist lives in Europe, I believe Russia area. I guess both those places are in Europe, but they live in Russia, I'm pretty sure. And the exchange rate to that is totally different. It's in our favor. So doing research on
they're at a war.
Yeah. But their living wage is different than my living wage. So I kind of use that to my favor this time. So doing a little bit more research on that stuff. I definitely paid a pretty decent price for my editing. I think my editing was a little bit cheaper than it could have been for the cost of. Are you looking at what the next question is?
No, I was looking at
the current question. Do you have anything you regret from your offer journey that you just started?
That I just started.
Not doing it earlier?
Not doing it earlier, 1. 2, I want to have playlists in the backs of my books like Caraval does. And I did not build a playlist for book 1. So having to go back and build a freaking playlist when I could have done it previously because I had no intention of publishing this because I didn't think that I wanted to. So that is something I regret doing.
Fair enough. Next question. What's a bit of advice you'd give a new author who's just getting started on their publishing journey?
Good luck.
Godspeed.
Godspeed.
So stay strong, soldier. My advice is don't rush yourself.
Get an editor, please. If you are going to publish a book, you need an editor or at least another person to read it.
Yes, for
Please.
sure. The reason I say don't rush yourself is I wrote between the first draft, like writing the first couple words, and publishing. Tidebound was 9 months, and Tidekeeper was 11 months, and I'm incredibly proud of that. It was a feat. I would never freaking do that again. It was a lot. It was a lot. I was constantly on deadlines. I was constantly stressed, and it was worth it. But I'm changing how I do it. So don't stress yourself out. There's no rush. You have your whole life, dude. So take your time, do it right. That's my opinion. My second tip is it's never too early to start marketing your book. Like, it doesn't have to be finished. You don't have to have a publishing date. You don't have to have a cover. You don't even have to have a name. All you need is vibes and a personality. And you throw that at the wall and you build a community and meet other writers, meet other authors, meet readers, and people will just sign up. People love debuts. I'm just putting it out there.
Yeah, people are like
once
fanning
your
over me right
debut
now.
is out, interest goes down. Like, having a debut is a selling point right now.
Yep.
People love it. Which characters in your book is the easiest to write and the hardest to write? You can go first.
Easiest would be main characters.
Both of them? Which one specifically? Peter.
But his story is more a central focus, I'd say, so that it comes out easier. Hard characters, I'd say, are my non-binary person, just because I always stress about sensitivity, and if I'm making assumptions because I don't experience gender fluidity and or know gender, so I think that's
interesting. Do you know who my easiest character to write was?
Knox.
Yeah, my non-binary character. And the reason why is kind of for the same thing. I was worried about sensitivity, and so I did the most planning on Knox because I was like, if they have a very, very strong personality, then I'm not going to fall into tropes or anything that could be portrayed bad. So I put the most prep work into Knox, and Knox came out of me super, super easily. My hardest characters in Tidebound and Tidekeeper was definitely the main characters, which is also funny since you said your main characters are the easiest. Ario and Kyoja are just such stubborn little bitches. Like, they're both just so stuck in their ways and so convinced that they know what they want and they don't know what, well, they know what they want, but they don't know what they freaking need. And they were just button heads, not even with each other, but with me, because everything I threw at them, Kyoja was like, no, I'm not going to do it that way. She's a little bitch.
Yikes.
I love them, though. But the first book, I struggled with pinpointing specifically Kyoja's personality. It flip-flopped like crazy until I finally, like, narrowed her down. On the flip side, in my current work in progress, Sunfire and Steel, the main character, Melione, she just goes by Mel. Mel was the easiest character to write. Like, it was so simple. That girl knows what she wants and does not fight the plot.
Yay!
So, yeah, that's my opinions on the characters. How many more books do you have plotted out?
This is gonna be really embarrassing, but like 4.
And it's all the same
So
series?
in the series, oh wait, I have way more.
Yeah.
I think 8.
Okay.
2 left in this series.
So how many are there total in the series?
I think there's going to be, because there's some that I might not write. I just have like they exist. Because like from my main characters, the next set of books are going to be about their kids. So I have 1 mortal and then 2 archangels, kind of.
Okay. So all 8 books are within the same universe.
I lied. 10 because there's a werewolf vampire set in the same world.
Okay, so you're going for the full universe. You're
Yes.
doubling down.
We'll see if I actually write them though.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. In the Tidebound Tidekeeper world, I have Aaron's novella plotted out. I need to start writing that because I want to make that like a free reader magnet for my newsletter. And I've been putting it off forever because it just feels like a lot of work to not make money. But it's a marketing ploy and people want it. That's definitely going to be the last thing in the Tidebound Tidekeeper universe. I had a lot of fun with it, but there's only 2 countries and I've touched on almost all of it already. And I don't know, I'm kind of sick of mermaids. So I'm not much of a, I don't know why I chose mermaids and stuff like that. Like, I think it's fun, but it's not like I'm not a die-hard mermaid lover. Or pirate lover. Like, I don't know why I chose. It was fun to write, but in hindsight, I don't know where it came from. And my new series, Sunfire and Steel, is the first book. I have 2 books planned after that you're not allowed to know the names of yet. You know the names.
I know the names.
And after that, I want to write more in that series, but I don't know. It depends on how they do. And if I get sick of it, I've created 6 countries, and in those 3 books, only 3 countries are touched on. So I could. There's like blood magic and witches. Like, there's so much room for growth in that series. So if I ever build off anything more, it would be those. I also have this really, really rough idea in the back of my head about some like good versus evil, like dark academia type of thing.
Come over to the dark side.
It's about like winged people, like not necessarily angels because there's like fairies and stuff like that too. But again, it's incredibly
Not
plotted. It's just an idea wiggling around in the back of my mind. I also have my series that I started when I was 16. It's Storm of the Fallen. It's right here, actually. That's very convenient. Storm of the Fallen. I am kind of reworking part of that into the 3rd book of my medieval fantasy because the one character is really similar. But I might rewrite that because every time I sit and read it, I don't hate it. I hate the plot, but I love the writing. Like, I put so much effort into the writing. It's really not a bad book. Just incredibly cliche. So it has not seen the light of day. That was a long answer, sorry. Is there something you wish you could change about the publishing process? Any opinion? Do you want me to go first since you're still working through the publishing process?
Yeah, like I'm still working through it, so I feel like I'm not going to have a great answer. I think right now is just the uncertainty of where I'm going to publish because KDP sucks and I don't want to support Amazon. So, and then I've learned things about Ingram Sparks about them taking a really long time, and there's like 24-hour books that was okay. So it's just I don't know anything yet. I'm a baby.
What I would change about specifically self-publishing, because I have nothing to do with traditional publishing, I would probably change the dog-eat-dog mentality that some people have.
So many people have it.
A lot of people preach this, like, community is everything, like, support other indie offers, but like the moment you would need them for anything, they're gonna stab you in the back.
And
like, that's the vibe. Like, people seem very, very fake sometimes in the industry, which sucks.
And there's always like
it's always about engagement.
Yeah, engagement and like envy as well. Like, I feel like sometimes other authors, not naming names, like get jealous of your success and then get really like I've had friends who've been burned by their friends in the community because they were more successful. So I just feel like,
or on the flip side, left in the dirt or left in the dust is the saying, because you aren't as successful as them. Yeah. So I would probably change the community aspect of it because I do believe indie publishing, it means independent, but you cannot do this alone. Like, you need friends and
people to hold you accountable.
Yeah, people have been phasing in and out of my life crazy in the writing world. People don't tend to stick around more than like a couple months, and partially, like, it's not always bad. A lot of times it just has to be if we're busy doing our own things and it's hard to keep up. But How has the publishing journey impacted you both physically and mentally? This made me laugh because physically, I feel like I'm physically way more lazy because I work a desk job and then I come home and I write at my desk and I mark it at my desk and then sometimes I make content in bed and I'm just like I'm lazy now because I just don't. Yeah, I don't have as much time to work out.
I'm experiencing burnout and depression.
That happens.
Um, I think a lot of it has to do with self doubt primarily, but I've been trying to continue writing draft one of book four, and I just can't make myself do it because I'm so anxious about, like, I keep seeing my editor's comments pop up in my emails because I get
Yeah.
notifications for that. So it's been causing a lot of anxiety. So I think physically I'm more tired. I feel less creative. I'm not as passionate about it as I was. And I don't know. I've just been really tired. And I don't know if that's my uterus hating me or the weather,
The highs and lows
the
of
highs
high
and
school
lows
football.
of this. And
Do you know what I'm quoting there?
No,
Riverdale.
I have not finished Riverdale. I think I got to season 3 and
the
then
highs
failed.
and lows of high school football. I probably have that quote wrong even. But no, it is actually the highs and lows of publishing. Like there's moments where you're on deadline. Editing is always the worst part in my mind. When my editor goes through my book, I hate everything that I work on. But then when you're done the editing, oh my gosh, you are the best writer in the world. So
What was the other part of that?
physically and mentally.
Oh, mentally. And I think I answered that.
You answered mentally. Physically,
I'm
you're
just really-
burnt out, so you're still tired.
I'm really
You're tired.
tired. Like, and irritable. Like, I feel like I've been isolating myself from people.
Yeah. I mean, I
Because-
live with you, so I see you every day, so I have no thoughts. I force her to hang out with me. Where do you see yourself 5 years from now, and how will you face these potential challenges?
5 years from now?
Yeah.
I'm
Dream,
hoping-
manifest.
manifest. I'm hoping to have most of my series done. Because it's going to take 6 years. Because if I'm publishing one a year.
Cool. Sick.
So that's, my series will be mostly done. I'm hoping to do an author signing. So I don't know.
In 5 years? I think you'll do a signing in 5 years if you're going to have 5 books out in 5 years.
See, maybe I'll just be aloof.
Okay. In 5 years, I thought about this question. I want a backlist of 7 books. So I have 2 out right now. I don't want to publish one in 2026. If I do, it's going to be at the very end. But by the end of 2027, I want to have 3 books out. So that's 5 books already in 4 years since I've published. So that's another 3 years, do another 3 books. Like it's doable if I keep at the pace that I'm working at. I can have 7 books backlog. Will I be a full-time author? Probably not. I don't want to set that goal for myself. But I would love if I could have a day job that's less stressful. Like if I could be a barista or go back to just something chill that I like, that I love. It can be a full-time job still. It doesn't have to be part-time, but I want to pivot to something that gives me more mental creativity in my day job. What are some much needed changes that you believe would make the publishing journey more accommodating for debut authors? I'll go first because I put a lot of thought into this as well. I wish there was a central hub for self-publishing, like some community, some website where you can just find all the information that you need. It can have like, I wrote stuff down, like checklists, roadmaps, links, like all the stuff that authors use, because everything is accessible online. But like every time I need to like research a topic, I'm researching for like 5-10 minutes to find the answer I need, or stuff gets so outdated so fast. So it'd be really cool to have that sense of community, and it would fix, I think, the issues that we were talking about earlier about that dog eat dog mentality. So if I knew computer programming, I would set that up. If anyone wants to get on that, I'll be a founder with you.
Yeah, I think accessibility and affordability, and I wish it was local. Like I wish we had a printing company local.
We do.
Who?
I have their I've never looked into prices yet, but I got a contact.
Because I would prefer to
There is a
support
local one, though.
local and pick up my books down the street.
But it'll be more expensive. Probably.
Well, that's what I mean. Like I just wish that in Canada, it was one, easier to get into trad publishing,
Mm-hmm.
and two, if we did like have our own company that isn't Amazon,
Mm-hmm.
because I don't want to
like
support.
Windsor, Ontario has Biblioasis. That's the.
Is that the only one?
I think that's the one that because I lived in Windsor for so long, I know them. I know a girl who works there. Other than that, yeah, I think they're all like for publishing companies. I think they're all in Toronto.
Ugh, I don't want to drive to Toronto.
Yeah, but there is like a printing press in like our city. But what's your favorite book signing event you've went to? Rose City Romance.
Yeah, I gotta say Rose City. I think by far it just stands out. Even Brandon Sanderson's convention, I find, was just not well laid out. It was less intimate. Yes, Rose City was very intimate, and it felt like a girls' weekend.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was also my first like multi-day conference, so that I almost said Converse. It was my first multi-day conference. I think that played a big part of it, but I had so many friends there, and it was the first year we've ever done it, so it's just going to get better and better. And yeah, it's also in Windsor. Apparently Windsor is where the book people are. What was the most difficult scene you've written, if any?
I don't want to spoil it, but I am currently working on book 4, and I have a character death that was actually really hard for me to write.
Fair.
Mainly because I just love them and they're side characters. So I find sometimes side characters get you.
Oh yeah, I killed off a side character. Everyone who's read my book knows that, and it was actually really easy to write because I knew it had to happen. Because I was like writing the scene, and I was sitting there, and I was like so stumped. I was like, "There's no way for them to get out of this unless someone does something." And then I had to have that thing happen. And the moment I started writing it, the fallout just, I guess the act of the death itself was hard, but the fallout was phenomenal. The hardest scene for me to write is also in Tidebound. And it is the sea serpent scene, which is kind of cool because some people have told me that they love that scene. I struggled with writing it so much for 2 reasons. One, this is the ship. This is the sea serpent. He's just like doing circles. How do you describe that without using the word he arced through the air? The sea serpent jumped. Like I struggled with the descriptors so much, and my editor, she was like, "This is so." It's still recording and everything.
Yes.
Okay, good. She's like, "This was so repetitive," and then also the second part is I forgot how I laid out the ship. So like, this is a ship. Even I wrote 2 books about ships. I could not tell you what is starboard, what is port, what is what. I have no clue. I had to Google it so many times. I was like, where's the helm? Where's the wheel? Where's this? If the sea serpent came here, which mast is he gonna hit? What does that end up doing? Is the ship gonna sink? Like, there were so many logistics to that scene that I couldn't just make up.
Yeah, I'd say other than that, fight scenes in general are hard because choreography and
what's realistic
and my husband, for example, made me change where my characters hold their swords because he said it's inaccurate that scabbards can be on the back. So if you are writing swords on the back, it's wrong. Don't do it. It doesn't work.
Like, how do you?
Because they can't sit, they can't bend, they can't, and you can't resheath it. Put it on their hips like a normal fucking human being. Continue.
What's your favorite part of publishing? I'll go first since I've published. It's the accomplishment feeling. It's the being done.
It's the being done.
When you finish publishing your book, like, my therapist explained this really, really well, like a year ago, is as you're publishing, you're like getting closer and closer to that publishing date, your nervous system is like on edge and it's ramping up, and then you publish, and then your like dopamine and stress levels and everything drops to a normal level. And that's why so many authors, when they first publish their book, have that release day crash or crash out for like a month or two, even if the book is doing really, really well, because it's your body readjusting your stress levels, which I thought was really, really interesting, and really changed my perspective on my second release when it came out, because that crash definitely did happen, but I did not like spin out like I did before. And the sense of accomplishment once my stress levels kind of evened out was it's the best thing. So
For me, I know I haven't published yet, but I think it's the community being so encouraging and giving me the little bit of strength that I need to keep going, because every once in a while I crash out and I'm like, I'm not going to publish. I'm the worst author ever. And everyone's like, shut up. So I would say community.
so funny. There was one time I wasn't home and she texted me and she's like, I'm never publishing. And I just responded and I was like, that's a really drastic thing to say, like go to bed.
Go to bed. When
If
in doubt,
someone's
go to bed.
crashing out to me, I tell them to go to bed. 9 times out of 10, you'll feel better after a nap. So, what's your least favorite part of publishing is the next question from the same person. My least favorite part is feeling like my head has to be a million places at once and being a jack of all trades. There's some parts of publishing that I'm really, really good at. There's other parts that I'm really, really bad at. And I have to do all of it regardless. And I hate, like, today, I'm going to use today as an example. I wanted to write today. It is 2 p.m. I have not wrote because we have not filmed YouTube videos in like a month because of Christmas. So it's sitting there and being like, prioritizing, should I prioritize marketing? Should I prioritize writing? If I do prioritize marketing, do I prioritize making content? Do I make videos? Do I look at my analytics? Do I redo my website? Do I
The list goes on.
So many options, and I make to-do lists and they're endless, and sometimes it's just really hard to bounce from one mental space to another or force yourself to get things done. So
Yeah,
I need a PA. That's the
I'm gonna say the same thing, because I feel like I'm have all my eggs in different baskets right now, because I'm editing, I'm writing, I'm marketing. I still have to build my Kickstarter. Like
if
like I have all of the things in my head. I just need to do it. And my issue is doing it, because I procrastinate sometimes.
doing it and then doing it well enough in your mind.
Yeah. So that I would say is my least part. And the stress. Like I feel sick to my stomach all the time because I feel like I'm not doing enough.
Then you think you should.
I should be doing more. But I don't know how to do more, because right now I still have to wait for my artist to finish. I still have to wait for my editor to finish.
And that's why I said take your time. You know, it's no rush to
I
put a
know.
publishing date out.
But my thing is that like when I want to publish is a really good time to publish, because I'm hoping, I'm not going to say the date, but it's like during a break, so a lot of people will be home.
Mm-hmm. And it lines up with like events and stuff.
Events and stuff.
What's something you want to share with someone who's writing their first book? If specifically for people who are struggling to write their first book, keep going.
Yep.
Don't give up.
Don't give up.
90% of people who I talk to in my like Discord and stuff like that get to the midway point of a book and they restart. Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Why are you doing that? You're wasting your time. Finish the freaking book. Finish it. If you don't like how you finish it, then you can redo it. You can fix it. Revisions are a thing. Like, people are trying way too hard to write the first book perfect. That's never going to happen.
It's going to be poo-poo caca.
Like, this is the first book I ever wrote.
It's terrible.
Look at how short it is. Look how it's so bad.
Keep that mark in there.
I know, you're reading it right now, looking for
Oh, that is
excerpts. One. Oh, lovely. Can I read it?
Not right now. We're in the middle of a video.
But yeah, like, it'll be bad. You just have to get it out. The more you do it, the easier it will get. Brandon Sanderson said something like he wrote like 10 books before he even thought about publishing his first one. I think that's a little extreme, but
I say 3.
I agree with the sentiment.
Like,
it could even be the same book. Write the same book 4 times.
Literally.
Just fucking finish it.
Yeah, I'm going to second that. You need to just poop it out and get it on the page, because if you what am I trying to say? Take your time, but just get it out on paper and don't worry about it being perfect. Because, like, if you are stressing about every single line of dialogue and every sentence that comes afterwards, like, you're not gonna finish it. Like, sometimes you just need to get the bare bones done.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna give some tips on how to finish it because I feel like that's a really easy thing to say is just finish it, and then you're like, wait, but how the heck do I do that? I've been struggling with this for years because I struggled with that for like 10 years. So here's some tips for actually finishing your first book. I wrote them down. If you are lagging around the middle point of your book, you have not planned enough. The middle is the hardest part of the book, guaranteed. It's kind of where the book kind of flounders, and you just like a little bit of a waiting. If you planned your book, for example, I'm going to use the Save the Cat method is what I use. So let's say you plotted with Save the Cat. Save the Cat does not have much details for the middle of your book. If you're floundering and you're writing a romance, that's a good time to pick up Romancing the Beat. Romancing the Beat gives you all of those small subplots that you can fill in that big area with. Like, pick up a different tool, try something new. If you're restarting all the time because you hate your characters, just make a note on the, like, if your character does something that you don't agree with, just make a note about it and say, fix this later. And then keep going. If you're struggling to show emotion, pick up the emotion thesaurus. Like, there's so many tools out there. And the first half of your book is going to be worse than the second half of your book quality wise. Because your first part of the book is you figuring it out. You have to figure it out while you're writing. And then your ending, you've got everything figured out already. And then you can go back and rewrite it. So those are my tips for that. Just for the love of God, stop giving up. Who's your favorite character? I feel like we kind of talked about this. We talked about the characters that are the easiest to write. Do those line up with your favorite? No? Okay, who are your favorites? In your as much as you don't want to spoil.
I'm torn between two. I really like my main male character's brother because he's a demon and he doesn't give a fuck about anything and he's kind of a himbo. Sick. Otherwise, I would say probably Hoang Hu. He is the leader of the House of Uriel, and or Merlin, who is her gay best friend. My female character's being gay best friend. I love my queer characters.
I love a gay best friend.
I love a gay best friend.
I need to add a gay best friend. I don't have one.
He just helped her like get up from bed the first time. So he literally was like, "Get out of bed."
For the first time, she's never gotten out of bed in her whole life.
Not in her whole life. Well, no.
I don't know why I'm reading this as if I don't know my answer. My favorite characters in Timebound is still Nox, who's my non-binary character. Also Aaron. Aaron is the one who's getting a spin-off novel because I just love her so much.
Heston's my favorite.
Yeah, I was gonna say in the sequel, Heston's my favorite in the sequel, but Heston does not shine in the first book. You barely see him. He's just kind of like a friend. And then in the second book, he's one of the like main side characters. He replaces somebody else who I killed off.
Ripperoni. Womp womp.
Womp womp. I also introduced a character, Kahira, who I really like, but that's more of a personal thing because in my first Kickstarter, I had a goal for $250 where someone could create a character with me, and my friend Kate did that, which was really sweet. And she created Kahira, which is basically her, a fantasy version of her. She self-inserted into my novel, and I love that for her. So I really like Kahira because it's my friend Kate. Where is your favorite writing place? Mine's our house.
Yeah, I'd probably say my desk, mainly just because it's my work area. Otherwise, I do like to go out to third spaces like coffee shops. Mm-hmm. My favorite coffee shop closed during COVID.
Aw. I don't really like working at coffee shops. I do too much people watching, or it's too loud, I don't know. I just have trouble focusing. I focus better at the library, but again, like, I find my library sessions end up being really short. So I'm my most productive when I write at home, specifically in that chair that Peter's in right now. That's the writing chair for me.
I do like that chair.
It's got an ottoman. You just kick up and you just... It's lovely. It's a good chair. What's a genre that you want to explore one day?
Science fiction. Okay. I want to write a zombie apocalypse book.
Okay.
It'll be better than yours.
Absolutely. I wrote mine when I was 14, and I killed off the main character because I didn't know how to end it. So I hope it's better. You're not shooting for the stars
I'd
there.
also like to do science fiction fantasy,
like crossover.
kind of like Star Wars, but a little different.
I don't consider Star Wars fantasy very much.
Yeah, but if you really look down to it, there's literally like a medieval temple Night Lord, like the Jedi Order is like very medievalist.
There is a lot that
coded.
happens. Yeah, I guess. I'm kind of already branching into all the genres I want to branch into, and there's subgenres.
Ooh, horror would be fun to
Yes.
write too. I would love to write a horror.
I've thrown around the idea of writing a horror anthology together with a bunch of short stories about
feminist
feminine
one?
rage.
Yeah, I really want to write a short
Yeah.
story for that. So let me know when you do it. I have a couple ideas.
Yeah, because if we could get more people on board, so it's not just us, I would be down to do that.
There's so many people that I think
would write feminist horror stories.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there's that horror. I didn't really think of that one, but in my next fantasy series, it is a medieval romance fantasy. Each interconnected story is a romance at its core with a happy ever after. But each book kind of jumps into different subgenres. So the first book is a sports romance about jousting, and I love that because I was laying in bed one day and I was like, "What's something new?" And I was like, "Who? No one has wrote a fantasy sports romance," and I feel like
in a while. I feel like I haven't seen them in a while. Like I've read jousting books before.
Really?
Yeah.
I've been Googling. I can't find any.
I'll find you the one that I'm thinking of.
Okay. But even like other fantasy, like the closest we have to a fantasy sports romance is fucking Quidditch in Harry Potter. Like everyone thought Quidditch was so cool. Like I want more sports fantasies. I think it's an untapped area, so I'm doing that. I also really want to write, just real quick, want to write high like epic fantasies, like dark dystopian epic fantasy stuff. But what were you gonna say?
I can't remember. Oh. There's something about melee tournaments, I think, because those are also in a lot of medievalist books.
Yes, for sure. Another subgenre I'm tapping into is more academia. I'm thinking like in my new series, like I do have like this, because there's blood magic. They're called hemomancers. So there is like this hemomancer academy that I'm like, I could totally create like a dark academia novel within the same world. Yeah. What's your favorite read of 2025? I'm not going to answer that because we have a video where we answer our 2025 top
reads. Yeah.
So we will link that on here. However you do that in YouTube.
I have no idea. I still haven't figured it out.
We'll figure it out. I
think that's it.
That's it. Those were all of my questions. Do you have any questions? I don't have any questions.
If you have any more questions, put them in the comments.
Yeah, we can do a round 2.
We can answer them. Or if we want more details.
I would like some silly questions.
What's your favorite writing snack?
Oh, that's a great question.
I love drinking iced tea and coffee. Mm-hmm. And then food-wise, I love Cheetos.
I have Cheetos on my desk right now. They're too hard to eat because they're like the crunchy ones and my nose hurts. That makes no sense
out of context, no.
I don't snack much when I write, actually.
Or fruit. I like fruit. Stuff I can kind of just pick at while I'm
and then type
away like a little gremlin.
Ice cream. Like if I don't snack too much when I'm writing because I get so focused on the writing, but once I hit a goal, I'll go like get a treat as a reward.
It's like a reward.
Yeah, I do definitely do that. That's another fun writing question.
Do you write more during the day, afternoon, or night?
Either early morning, like on a weekend when I just woke up, or late evening on a weekday.
Yeah, I would say probably a mix of both, but I'd say probably in the morning just because I make myself do it.
Do you have a sweet spot for like session length for writing? No?
I write
like 2 to 3 hours.
Yeah, I would say 2 to 3 hours.
Like if I'm writing only for an hour, I can't focus fast enough. I can't get into it. But if I'm writing for like 7, 8 hours, like if I dedicate a whole weekend day to writing, I won't get enough done. Like I could, those 8 hours, I'll get the same amount of work done that I did in 3 hours another day when I'm more focused. All right.
All right.
Yeah, if you have more questions, let us know. Bye.
Bye.